I don't consider my films long. They're free. I am not part of the convention where there's some sort of, I don't know why, a lot of filmmakers, most filmmakers follow that they're subordinated to that idea that cinema is just 2 hours or 1.5 hours, Cinema is art, so it should be free. That's my principle in doing cinema, that's my philosophy. I don't want to be part of that convention. I liberated my cinema. Cinema for me is that, it's for culture. I don't want to be part of the market or what. So, I don't think that festivals are having difficulties as well in programming my works, because a lot of festivals now are open to that. In fact, some of my works are being shown in main competitions now. So they're open now. We have, somehow my cinema has opened that kind of platform, a forum for other filmmakers to do the same, to just pursue their cinema and not beholden to some market or to some impositions. Cinema for me, again, is my tool to that, understanding the human condition, understanding us, our so-called existence. So that's my cinema. I'm exploring life, more of an examination to why we are here, to, you go back to all the questions since the beginning of time, from philosophers to poets to the farmer. What's the meaning of this thing called life? My cinema is that. I want to understand life through my medium. It's the only medium that I can explore that. A political approach is already an aesthetic approach, so it's encompassing. If you do art, there are two choices that you can do, that you can have. It's either you do art for art's sake, or make your aesthetic responsible for humanity. And I chose this part, My aesthetic is on that, to be responsible to humanity at least. It's the only thing that I know. I can do music, but for me, cinema is more powerful because all the mediums you can mix it here, from poetry to philosophy, to dance to literature. You can use it in cinema, and cinema has that power to change perspectives immediately once you're sucked inside the cinemas and you experience this alternative universe, and you'll be changed at least, perspective-wise. I watch everything from the kung fu movies to the cowboy movies. I watch everything. I'm a cinema addict, so I don't have prejudices with cinema. I watch everything, even pornography. I watch pornography. No, of course, I watch them, but I don't. I can do sex films, but you have to contextualize what you do. That's where you differentiate art from other forms. You'll have to be very responsible, and you'll have to qualify what you do. It took me almost 15 years to finish that work. I did a lot of research from written to oral histories in that very, very particular epoch of our country, the 1896 revolution against Spain. So it's both. I mix literature to our pagan mythologies, to the contemporary perspective in cinema, and even some revisionist perspective in history. So I mix all of those, So again, if you delve on such a very, very, delicate kind of subject, history, you'll have to be very responsible. For me, as an artist, to be very responsible, at least I'm near the truth. That's why I did a lot of research, I can also be accused of being a revisionist because it's my version of history, lullaby to the sorrowful history. But at least I did my work. I did 15 years of research and hard work before I did the film. Well, it's the culture that I'm most familiar with. So, and yeah, I know the struggles of my people, the histories of our long struggle with Spanish colonization. That's more than almost 400 years. American intervention, which is almost 100 years. Then the 4 years of Japanese rape, 24 years of Marcos rampage. Now we have a very, very, violent president. Yeah, he's a psycho. So, as a Filipino filmmaker, I have to be engaged. I will use my cinema, it is my platform for engagement, you know, to confront all these issues, especially our struggle. I don't know, it's the experience now. So like you guys, if you watch Lullaby to the Sorrowful Mystery, I'm sure you can relate to that. We have parallel histories, the Mexican struggle, the Filipino struggle. We're both the same under Spain at the very same time. I don't know much about Cineteca, but I'm amazed with just looking at the structure, how vast it is, and just telling me guys that you have all these archival things. I hope we have it in our country. So yeah, it's amazing. You know, if you come to Mexico, you know, visit the Cineteca for culture, for cinema, for humanity.